No, yes, okay, yes, good.
Okay, so today we will discuss about how to write a research paper for the prestigious journal, like the Q1 or Q2 journal producing high quality research effectively, and communicating your findings is a key to getting published in a prestigious journal. So first of all, you need to choose a compelling topic. I mean, the most relevant. Fourth thing you need to keep in mind when you choose your topic: relevancy, timeliness, novelty, and interest. So in the relevancy, you need to identify what is the importance and gap, I mean the research gap in your field. Second one is the focus on the current issue and trend. So, and then third is the novelty. Novelty mean it is the face perspective. It is not easily available, and the thought is whatever you search and you can get the idea. It's not like that. It's a novel, and the new things should be there. Okay, and then interest. Choose something that is you are passionate about, because if you are not interested, how you make your audience or global reader you know interest. You need to create the interest among the global readers. So first of all, it should be passionate to you. Then conducting thorough, it's called the uh, literature review. Literature review mean you need to search proper literature. Mean you use the database to find the relevant paper. Mean you need to search from Web of Science. You need to search from the Scopus database actually. So then you need to go for the filtration process. Mean you need to organize those things, track into the source, and the reference manager. And I recommend different reference manager is there, like Mendeley is a thing. And then analyze the thing, the critically evaluate the other work in your idea. Okay, so you need to understand that the other people, you are the not the first person who research on the particular topic. So many people did work. You need to critically identify what is the what they did in your area. So and then synthesize, identify the knowledge gap, formulating research question. When you understand the research gap, and it is easier to you to find the research question. Then effective research methodology. So effective research methodology means there is a different methodologies for the qualitative research, quantitative research, and mixed method is very popular. So I mean both qualitative and quantitative. For the qualitative research, experiment, survey, statistical analysis, everything is required. For the quantitative research, quantitative mean the numerical thing that you experiment in lab, or survey, go to the primary survey with the questionnaire or schedule. And statistical analysis, because there is a two process, the method of data collection and method of data analysis. So I will discuss later in brief. you know so qualitative research mean interview, observation, and the case studies. And the interview, you can take group interview or individual interview. Observation, there is a two observation process. One is called the non-participatory observation and the participatory observation. And the case study, that is popular in the qualitative research. And the mixed method, that combination of qualitative and quantitative approaches. Okay, then structure your paper. How you structure your paper, that is very important. That how do you structure your paper, that is also very important. So first of all, you need to start with your introduction. In introduction section, you need to provide the background of your study, the objective, and the significance and the relevance of the your research. Second, it's come to the literature review. Critically evaluate the previous relevant research. So I taught you the different AI tool like the Elicit and the others also. So help you to effective literature review, and you should add over there the bibliometric process. So most scientific research, like you can use the Pisma or bibliographic or bibliometric tools. Okay, that was viewer, Excel, those are the software you can use for the more scientific literature review. Okay, and then come to the methodology part. Here you need to analyze the material from where you collect the data, procedure and analysis. So briefly you can divide it into two part, mean method of data collection and method of data analysis. Okay, so in method of data collection, you need to explain how you collect the data, what data you collect from which sources, and the procedure you adopt during collection of the data. And then come to the analysis, method of data analysis. There you write about different statistical tool, or nowadays you can write different mathematical, advanced mathematical approach or machine learning tool, how you use over there. Because in our research now we are using such machine learning tools, machine learning algorithms. So you can write the numerical notation also if you can. So and the result, the present the key findings. Mean according to your objective, you need to explain over the here in the result section. And the discussion section, you need to interpret your findings. Okay, so why such findings came, actually is implementation and what are the limitation and all. And in summary section, you need to summarize the contribution, and you need to direct what is the future dimension of this research. Got it? So this is the basic structure of your research paper. Then I will go to the next slide, the writing with the clarity and precision. So it is very important the conscious. Okay, when they use clear straightforward language, there is a no artistic or dramatic language. You should write in the clear cut language so that easily anybody can understand the clarity of the paper. And the specific mean the sufficient details, evidence everywhere you need to refer. Mean where is required, you need to put the citation and mean in text citation and reference. And the active voice. Okay, write in the active and the objective tone. That is very important, your tone and your writing voice, in the which voice you were writing. And edit, revision, refine, that is very much required. Suppose you were writing today in the different perspective, you just write some part and then kept in your drawer. And after few days, if you take out your research paper and again you read it, that time you felt that whether I'm writing this thing so badly, I am writing, no. So again you modify the thing. Suppose I share my personal experience when I published first paper in 2015. So one of the prestigious journal in India, that Geographical Review of India, one of the oldest journals. So it's take almost 1 year to publish the paper. That time I was the master student, final year master student, just before entering the PhD that time. So but I put the enormous effort to publish the paper, to preparing map, data analysis, and all collection the data. So serious about that, to writing the research paper. And now after the 10 years, almost 10-15 years back, when you look into the thing that, oh, I have published such kind of paper, Map is not perfect. This analysis, I could do some different analysis nowadays because your knowledge bank is change every day. So suppose I have the paper in the nature also, but at that time when I published the paper in 2015, 9 year back, so that time I felt that is the best thing I did in my life. So always you rely on the editing, revising. Why I am giving the references because you can understand. So no one is perfect. Is you have to practice and practice. I mean you can understand the procedure of the this thing and grow through the systematic procedure. You can achieve the success and presenting the data efficiently. Okay, your chart in the in form of the chart qualitative data, you can prepare the different method of chart preparation. So there is a different software. Some software is dedicated for the chart preparation actually. So you can use all those things and the figure illustration, the concept and the observation and experiment equipment. You use the photograph, different step ups precisely for the presenting your data. Okay, because flat writing, no, it's make people or your reader monotonous. They will not going to read. There is a significant relationship between reading and scientific citation and all. So if your research is more precise, accurately provide the data to the chart graphs and equipments, so that is also very important. And ethical research practice, that is very very important. The integrity mean accurately report the method, data and findings, objective, remain of the unbiased and the open to criticism. Because yes, we know something, we don't know something, we want to know something. This is the basic thing. So if someone critiques your paper, that's mean you are in the right direction, so you can learn from that. So always be open minded being a researcher. So this is nothing personal, this is whatever you explain that is come from your research. Yes, there might be some loopholes, so you have to come out with this process actually. So should be open to criticism and the respect, protect the human and animal subject. If you subject, so you should not share the personal data privacy, and also you need follow the protocols of the data collection and all, the confidentiality, the maintain the privacy of the sensitive information and all, and the responsibilities, be accountable for implementation, implication and misuse. So it is also very important as a researcher. And in case of the integrity, so suppose you need to be very accurate report in the method, data collection and findings. I can share one story of my life. So that is you should learn also that, because as a researcher you need those character to be a good researcher or honest researcher, because the number of paper or designation not give you the integrity. I will tell a story of a professor and his scholar. I do not mention their name actually, but I just tell you the true story of my life. They just stole the paper, okay, and published one journal. But the professor is, very good H index. You know what is H index, I-10 index, and all. So he's one of the top scientists in the world, and stole the paper and published in a journal. And yes, identify that thing, report to the journal, and they recognize they are stole the data. So because yes, I share the data not for publication, share the data for the discussion, because you should be open for your research. So if someone asks, yes, whatever the data is there, let me check, so we can come out with the new method. By this way, the scholar stole the data from me, and the guide and scholar together published the paper in a, Q2 journal, I think so. But they are identified. That is the biggest failure of a researcher, whatever number of publication, or what is called the H index, I-10 index, and whatever the respect of your scientific community, that is depend on the integrity. You should be honest. Yes, I have the limited capacity, I can do only this, but you should be very much ethically honest. So choose your the appropriate journal. Now come to the point of the appropriateness. How you find the appropriateness? When you write the paper based on your objective, you just search the aim and objective of the journal. Every journal there is a section called the aim and objective, because the journal also specific aim and scope. So you need to first study that whether your topic is fit to the journal aims and objective. You just understand that thing, EPS. So then you go for the next step. Like, another thing is that the target reputable peer reviewed Q1 or Q2 journal first. So that how you target the reputed journal. So there is a different technique. So how you identify the journal. So there is a one method, it is called the web scraping, and the every journal there is a journal suggester tool or journal finder tool is there. Okay, and the readership. Consider the journal target audience. So there is a subscription, monthly download or annual download the paper or read. You can see from their website also. So you can understand the the global readership and the volume of the journal in the circulation. So that is also important. And impact. So check the journal impact factor and the matrix. Based on that, you choose the appropriate journal and go for the publication. Before that, you need to go to the publish the paper. So there is a many process. First of all, there is a peer review process. Peer review process start with submission. Okay, upload your manuscript to the journal system. So there is a different system. Mean journal, every journal have different system actually. Mean some journal directly all only manuscript, blinded manuscript, and also your table figure you separately uploaded over there. It's depend on the journal system. Okay, so after that, the initial scanning. Initial scanning actually editor evaluate the scope and the formatting of the paper, whether you are writing the right format. Okay. So after that, if so there is a point from where your paper can be written back to you. They might say no, this paper is not fit for our journal. Another thing say that your paper is not match with our aim and objective. So from here this point that editor can reject your paper. Okay, so from the initial scrutiny, initial review, after initial review, but if accept by the editor, that's mean you understand that this your paper is fit for this journal based on the aim and objective of the journal, not the quality. Then peer reviewer, the expert who assess the quality and rigorously check, but you didn't mean that is the blind peer review. Anonymously they review, you don't know their name and who are reviewing your paper, and as well as the reviewer also don't know your name, who is write the paper. Okay, so this is the thing. And then come to the point of the revision. Then from here another chance of rejection. So another chance of rejection mean from here your paper can be rejected based on the quality of the paper. If that is not the up to the mark novelty what we discussed earlier. So if you want to publish the paper, four thing keep in your mind. So novelty one of the important points. So your paper can be rejected if it is accepted. Might be there some reason. So there might be give some comment accept uh, with major revision, that is mean you have to work hard to revise your paper. Minor correction, so that's mean you have to work little bit to modify your paper, address the reviewers comment properly, and accept as it is. That is very nominal case, maybe 0.001% paper accept without change. So that is rarest of the rare case. And decision based on that final report of the reviewer. So it is the journal editor inform you whether your paper accepted, rejected, or further revision is required or not. Okay, that is the thing. And then responding to the reviewer comment, how your review response to the reviewer comment, that is also very important because your language for few thing you need to very clear. The gratitude, you always should respect the time and feedback of the reviewer because they are working for you without having single penny. Actually journal is not giving any money to the reviewer, even the auditor also, the editor also. So you should be very much grateful to the reviewer. So you when you write, just thank you for the review the paper, and we will or I will incorporate if you are not. So you just respond immediately, and if you already complete your revision process, that time then after careful after you can write that the thank you for the kind revision of not kind revision, actually kindly review the paper. We are highly appreciate your comment, and according to your comment we are modify our paper. Well, then the openness, that the consider the criticism objectively, not defensively actually. Because based on your objective you can you should be open, and you should understand your limitation and all. And the clarity should be there, outline how you are address the each comment, so that is also important. And during the response to the reviewer, you should remember that you support the evidences like the citation data and all, so that it is easier for the reviewer for better review or provide more insight into your paper. So the fun is your paper. So writing a effective cover letter, that is also very important because with manuscript you need to attach one thing that is called the cover letter. In cover letter overview, briefly describe about the study motivation, why you work on this topic, what is the basic findings. Then you need to focus on the importance, explain the nobility and the significance of the field. And the suitability also very important, and justify why the appropriate for this journal. And the statement that include the ethics, fundings, and the conflict of interest, from where you get the money for the research, and include all the ethical thing, and the fundings, conflict of interest, and everything you can write over there. So in the cover later, and the suitability why you choose this journal, so you can also mention all those things. So uh, it is four simple point you can just remember and write your effective cover letter. Well, and the promote your research. Promote your research mean when it is published, When it is published, then you can share with Twitter, LinkedIn, ResearchGate, Academia Edu. There is a many social media is there. And then the but there is, you should remember that thing, whether your paper is the open access and you have the license of sharing or not. So something paper is the subscribe mode, so first 1 year you cannot share with that, so you can understand the term and condition of the journal, so then only you can go for that. Then networking, the present at conference and discuss the findings over there, and um, different networking areas, so conference, workshop, and so institution also very important, because that work in the common team, promote your subject and all. And the public engagement mean the give talks, write blog, and the op-eds, so all those things promote your research. So this is a certain tool you need to focus on. And the findings your research, because you are work for the government, you can work for the private and the competitive, so in the funding section, so after your research you can approach for fund. Okay, so approach for fund mean you want to go more deeper research, so foundation, corporation, donor, so you need to find the private body, and there is a different government organization even in the Poland, that's called the NUA. So there is department, there is a many other organization also, NSA, DOE, in Department of Education, so all those things they can promote actually. National Institute of Health, so they are also providing fund. And the competitive, that attitude, the strategy to compiling the proposal aligned to the funder mission, why they will give you the fund, so what is their benefit to give you the fund, you need to ensure that thing, what is their objective. Suppose I am the director of KNB Think Tank Academy. So this is a research organization. So I have the certain goal. If I ask for the fund for the one, another company, suppose I have another company where I am the chief executive officer, the Kinetic Craft Career Solution. So if I want to you know make one workshop on the career development in the tourism industry or in any other industry, so they might give us the fund because they are working on the career solution, so they want to explore more into the different sectors. Suppose I make one seminar on the future in hospitality industry, future in the different cruise line sector, all those things, so they might give the fund. So that mean you need to align the funder mission with your proposal. Okay, got it. And the collaboration and networking, so that is very important. So I just mentioned over there the conferences, mean attending session, present poster talk, so it will give you the more network, and the online presentation, discussion, connect virtually. Okay. And the guidance and from the experienced researcher and all. And the and partnership, so that is also important, that the combine the expert access to the discipline and the institute, so that is also very important thing to access. And the open access publication, so it is also important nowadays, because when we think about the earlier when I was a student, so I think that I asked my seniors, so how many paper do you have? So they might say that we have the 5 paper or 6 paper. So that time I thought that okay. So number of paper also important. But after my PhD I realized that no, number is not at all important. The quality of the paper is important. In which journal you are publishing the paper, and the citation. How much citation you get from your paper, and your H index is important. Not number of publication is important. But in the subscription model, so reader pay to access the paper. Okay. So automatically the your citation potentiality will reduce. Why? Because everybody unable to read your paper. But in open access, when you pay for make it open to the all the researcher, your paper can anybody can download, anybody can read. So it is very easy to get more and more more citation mean it will increase your H index, I-10 index, so you can become the you know your reputation in the scientific community will increase. And then another one is the author fees. Author fees provided to two way. One is the author itself can pay. If you have the fund for the research, you can pay. And another one, institutes cover the publishing cost. Okay, many institute, suppose University of Jeddah, so they have the open science program. Sometimes they pay for the publication fees. Many institute, University of Krakow or Technical University of Warsaw, they have the IOAP, Institutional Open Access Publication Program. So IOAP is something. So institute provide your publication fees. Okay, so those things also very important for that in which organization you are working, your colleagues or your co-authors are working. So that is also important for the open access publication. If you are published open access, so your citation potentiality will increase, no doubt about that. So institute also understand that the importance of the open access publication, because the reputation of the institute also associated with the funding, because if you have the more fund in research, that means more people can read your paper, so automatically institutional profile also increase through open access publication. I also do respect all those institute who has open access publication is IOAP. So that is good for their researcher, their faculty members. That is helpful for developed individual as a researcher as well as an institute too. So anyway, so come to the preprint, the rapidly share the findings before the peer review process, and the research data management. Okay, so research data even after your publication also gather in the document carefully and use the secure storage and backup and the deposit data for the public repositories, and ethically protect the privacy and follow the regulation also. So scientific writing style, so there is a different thing you can keep in your mind, the clarity, whatever we discussed earlier, that the straightforward precise language. Brevity mean be conscious, avoid the worldliness. Not need not to write 20 page, 25 page. You just concise your paper 15 to 20 page in the standard. Even in the many scientific paper, 10 page. So they publish the 10 to 15 page maximum. So and the impartiality mean report finding objectively. So there is two things you remember, the objectivity and subjectivity of your subject. So you just focus on your objective wise findings, that's it. And the accuracy, verify the statistic, measure and facts accurately. So which statistical measure you use over there, and all mean whether using the, suppose I give you one example, whether you use the mean or median, both are the central tendency. So why you will use the mean and why median, you should be very much careful about that. You need to go more deeper into the subject in the basic statistic. So first of all you need to go for the normality assumption to Sapir-Whorf test, case test. There is a many test, Alexander Darling test. Even you can plot in the QQ plot. It is a graphical representation of the statistic. Then you can decide. So statistic very important. So why you choose this method? Many time the reviewer asks this question, that why you choose this method. whether it is a new method you develop this method, or it is cited, or you can refer any method from other paper or other scientist, so you can also work on that. So it is always important to be focused on your methodological part. If it is possible to develop the new method, so there there will be the chance of high publication, high acceptance. The structure follow the established section format. So I discussed earlier about the introduction, literature review, methodology, result, finding, discussion, findings and discussion, conclusion, and that reference section will be there, and the research reproductivity. So that is also keep in your mind that methodology about the reproductivity, detail of the procedure, equipment specification, reagent for the scientific paper. So many of my friends working in the pharmacy department, so I know pharmacy and chemistry, so they use in the reagent and all. So that is also thing. And the data and analysis, the raw data files, code, key, skift, and the statistical tool. I am talking about the statistics. So suppose you can divide it, I can divide the student into two parts, so who know the coding or who don't know the coding. Many people use the R, Python, Jupyter notebook. Those people know the basic coding. Those who don't know the coding, so they can also learn this, apply the thing, because SPS is statistical process for the social science research. Startup and Statistica, those are the recommendable software. Actually last few years I have found the implementation of the statistical tool is increased 10 times. So you need to focus on the statistical tool to publish your paper if you are working in the qualitative research. And the machine learning is there, so now it's entered. So we are not talking about artificial intelligence, because we are working on the artificial intelligence, but now we are talking about machine learning and the deep learning. So because we are going to work on this. And the transparency, if you have the integrity, you should be transparent. So creditability, suppose whatever you did, you just take the creditability only that part. And if you write something from other paper, you should give the creditability the author through the proper manner in the citation and the reference. So, and the building the research agenda with some methods like the question, basic the research question, actually identify the knowledge of the gap in your field. Proposal mean design the innovative project to address the gap. The study conduct the research systematically and published, and after publish extend your research again. That's why it is research, search again and again, so extend it, build work, develop new question. Thank you for attending the class.